Well, hello and good day to you. 6.7, we're going to talk about the remainder theorem. It's nothing very new compared to what you were just doing yesterday with all the synthetic division stuff. So, we'll just jump on in here. So with our function, if we're going to divide, like we were doing before with the synthetic division, we find out that our remainder is going to be that leftover number at the end. So, if we're going to do the regular long division, we think about x times what makes 3x cubed, so we're going to write a 3x squared here, and that'll be 3x cubed minus 6x squared. Now what we got to remember about doing division is we always subtract, which means I'm going to change these signs here, give us 4x squared's left over. My 2x comes down, and you don't need to know how to do this, so I'm going to fast forward for you. Alright, so there is our long division problem worked out. Each one of these is just what you would multiply x minus 2 to get the next term here. But in any case, we end up with this 15 down at the bottom, so that is our remainder. Just like in normal long division, you get an extra number at the end, it's your remainder. And those of you that had any kind of understanding about that would remember that that means it's a fraction. And you'd always put it over top of whatever you're dividing. In this case, that's x minus 2. But in any case, this is not what you need to know how to do. This is just what we're doing, except for in a really quick, short way. So what was our remainder there? It was 15. So we're going to use our synthetic substitution. Remember that first number, we just bring it down. We go 2 times 3 to get our number that comes up here, 6. 6 minus 2 is our 4, times 2 is 8, makes 10, 20, and 15. And hey, look at that. The exact same number here at the back end. So our remainder theorem is just telling us that this number left over is our remainder. And what's nice about this is actually the same thing that we've gotten right here, just without the x's and the exponents involved. So if we plug in our 2, that tells us the remainder of dividing by our parenthesis group of x minus 2. So what that does is save us from having to do very much work with any of these types of problems. This looks scary. X cubed minus x squared plus 5 divided by x plus 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to write all of our coefficients. Now remember, we've got to go power all the way on down. So I'm going to start out my x cubed is a 1, x squared is a minus 1. Now where is my normal x? Is it there? No. So it's kind of like we got plus 0x kind of inserted right here. So that's what we're talking about. Make sure we put our 0 and then a plus 5 for our our constant at the end. So now we are not going to write 2 over here. We're going to plug in negative 2. We're always plugging in what the 0 would be for that particular little factor, that little parenthesis group. So we're always going to change signs, just like with everything. When we're going in and out of that parentheses, we got to change our sign. Alright, so our negative 1 comes down here. Negative 2 times 1 will be negative 2. Makes negative 3. Multiply by the negative makes positive 6 here. And then negative 12. Come on. My pen is acting crazy. And minus 7. So what is our remainder? The remainder is minus 7. Alright, so now we're just going to do our division, work things out for us here. Negative 1 is going to be my number on the outside. Got to make sure we get a term or a number for each term. There's 10 for the x to the 4, 5 for the 3, 4 for the 2. Again, there's a 0x here that we can't see, so I'm going to put a 0 and a minus 9. Number one mistake kids make on the test and on practice problems is forgetting that 0. Second thing is we tend to want to multiply this by our number here. We don't do that. We bring it down first and then we carry on from there. So negative 1 times that's going to make minus 10, which is minus 5 and 5 and 9 and minus 9 a couple times. That becomes plus 9 and makes 0. So our remainder is 0. And our actual answer here what we're going to do is we're going to drop this power down one, and I'm going to write 10x cubed minus 5x squared, and just keep going down a power every time until you have your constant at the end that does not have an x on it at all. And so that is the answer to what is this thing divided by x plus 2. It is that thing. I know you're excited. Whoever thought you would be able to do this type of a problem. Well, here's your last one. So we've got a negative 3 here. That means we're going to use positive 3 as our number that we're substituting in. Let's grab all of our coefficients. 2 minus 6. Remember, this one is a 1, minus 3, and minus 3. I encourage you, give it a try on your own. See if you can, but let's work it out anyway because, hey, this lesson's only at 5 minutes so far. We got an easy, quick one for us. Bring that 2 down. 2 times 3 makes 6. 0. Nice. Makes a 0 here and a 1, a 3, another 0. Makes a 0 and a minus 3. So we used our synthetic substitution. We have divided. Now we're going to drop down a power. Instead of to the fourth, I'm going to write 2x cubed. Remember, this is our x squared thing, so it's gone. Just plus 1x plus nothing. And then the way we write our remainder is we go minus 3 over x minus 3 as our remainder out here. Probably should have written that minus sign out front. It just feels like the right thing to do. So there we go. That's a little better. And so that's how you write your remainder with these crazy things. You just take your parenthesis group, put it on the bottom, and your last number goes on top. And there you have it. Nice, easy day for you. Make some good choices out there, and we'll see you in class.